Yeah.
So another way, because we work a lot also with, we work a lot with military, so that's a retirement plan. But let's talk about Social Security because we also work a lot with people who get Social Security income, not only for retirement, but also disability. How do those two factor in for mortgages?
Sure. So retirement is the easy one because all we need is the award letter, and it's understood that it's going to continue, right? Because we don't get any younger. So the nice thing too is sometimes we can do what's called a gross up on that, meaning if we can prove that a certain amount of the Social Security is not taxed, and obviously we have to get the tax returns to get to prove this, we can
Yeah.
gross it up. So that might be like a factor of like 25% more. So if we're tight on qualifying, we might look into that. I think Fannie Mae, it was recently too, just announced a rule that you don't even have to document anymore to gross up 15% of it. So that's kind of nice too. Um, so there are, or I'm sorry, 25% of it at a 15% amount, or vice versa. I can't remember, but there sometimes we can gross those up. And then a lot of times people will have disabled children,
Hmm.
and a lot of people don't realize we can use that as income as well. The important thing with that though is we have to prove it's at least 3 years continuance. So sometimes that'll cut off at 18. So if I've had situations where there are multiple children and that have the social security disability income, and maybe one of them is 16 years old, we can't use that one, we can only use the ones with 3 years continuance. And it's by the closing date, because we've also had situations where a closing gets pushed back for whatever reason, and now it's 2 years and 11 months, and 2 years and 11 months is not 3 years. So we have to be very careful and make sure that we're documenting that up front.
Wow, that would be rough. All right.
Yeah.
2 years
I
and 11
actually
months.
talked to
Yeah.
somebody recently that happened to. It wasn't actually a customer of mine. It was somebody else that got a loan elsewhere, and they had to switch from a conventional to an FHA loan, and their payment went up by several $100s. So we want to be careful when we're pre-approving people, and we know exactly the ages and how long these things are going to last. Because really the general rule with mortgages is we're looking for a 3 years continuance on almost everything. Except for if you have a W-2 job, we're going to assume that you'll keep working there, right? So,
Yeah. Okay.